everyone, welcome back to this channel. Welcome back to this series. For this episode, we have a special guest, Sabrina. Our guest for this video is Sabrina. What is your course and what do you like or love about it?
So I am a communication major, and one thing that I like about my course is that since it's a very broad major and there are so many different fields under it, I'm able to enhance my skills or learn new things that I've always wanted to learn but never really had the chance to. And especially since it's focused more on specific things, it helps me improve the skills that I had before that I kind of sucked at, but it's a learning process. So I really like that.
How did you choose your course without knowing the specific job you want?
So ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be so many different things. And I knew it wasn't, and then later on when I got older, I realized oh, okay, I can't really be all of these things at once. So I remember our last few months of high school, before we graduated, everyone was talking about how what schools they were going to, or they would be filled with so much anxiety and excitement trying to figure out if they got into the school or not. And everyone seemed to have everything together, and I was very overwhelmed and so anxious because I didn't know what I was planning to take, let alone be in the future. Because like I said, there were just so many things that I wanted to do. I couldn't just choose a specific major to study in for the next few years of my life. Communication was probably the best major for me at the time, because since I said earlier, it's a very broad major. And unlike if I were to take up medicine or something, medicine or business or political science or those other majors and all, they seem to focus more on one specific or one or a few specific things. But unlike for communication, it's more broad than the other majors. So I thought that by taking that major, it would help me figure out where I belong under that course. So yeah.
How do you encourage yourself in the unknown times? What verses or quotes do you hold on to or put on your wallpaper?
So there are two verses that are near and dear to my heart and encourage me a lot whenever I'm feeling down or whenever I need good reminders. And and that is Jeremiah 29:11 and Proverbs 16 verse 9. So I'm the kind of person who really likes to know what's going to happen in the future, because I like to prepare myself. Because if I don't prepare myself for something that I know is going to happen, then it's going to be very chaotic, and my anxiety will increase really badly, and I just can't function as a social being in life. But these two verses really encourage me a lot, because especially now that I'm in college and my future is very much uncertain, it's important to know that God has a plan for me, or us, but yeah, he has a plan for me. So those two verses, they really calm my mind and they give me peace whenever I feel everything's just going downhill. And it's always a good thing to hold on to during those times. And these are two verses that I've memorized for quite a while. And it's always there to remind me of all of those things. It's also important to know that even though I have these dreams near to my heart, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's aligned with God's plan. Although I hope it is, because I really do like my dreams. But whether or not it's aligned with God's plans or not, he's still in control with everything, and God knows the desires of my hearts. And hopefully my dreams are really aligned with his, but I know that regardless, he's got me and he has a plan for me, and I know that no matter what's going to happen to me in the future, like everything's going to be fine because I put my hope in God, knowing that no matter no matter what I've been through in the past, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to like hinder me from what I'm supposed to be doing now, or like what my purpose is in life now. So, yes. Because, struggling is a part of life and it's a part of growth, and we can't escape it. So, all we have to do is trust God and endure the uncertainties. I learned that it is also important to put my hope in God at all times under any circumstances, because he is the only one who knows what's going to happen and he is in control.
How do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now?
I'm graduating next year, so 5 to 10 years from now, hopefully I'll have a stable job. If not, then there's another problem, but I should have a stable job in 5 to 10 years. How do I see myself in 5 to 10 years? Honestly, it's a surprise. And I'm not saying that because I don't know how I see myself in 5 to 10 years, but because I don't want to give anything away. But I think that those dreams I had, like the reason why they're so big is because they've been a part of me for so long. Like I've had these dreams ever since I was a kid. And as a kid, I never thought that like in the future, grown up me would actually push through with them, but they're still with me to this day. So yeah. So I wanna make my younger self proud by achieving those dreams that we had together as a kid, because now that I'm older, I realize that the dreams that I had growing up, like they seemed useless then, but like now looking back, I and especially like with the dreams that I have like now, and if I compare it to the ones that I had when I was younger, they kind of go together.
What are some practical things you do to prepare yourself for the future?
I pray. Number one, yes, I pray. I always pray, especially when it comes to the future, because if I don't pray, I will go crazy. Honestly, like I like my anxiety will just be all over the place. I'm gonna put myself in like a deep depressed state that I don't want to be in. So like, cause prayer is so powerful, and especially, and then the second thing, another thing that I do is like when I'm praying is that I always like try to recall or like recite God's promises, because that also keeps me sane, and it's like a good reminder to have, especially when you're like struggling or like when you're like anxious about things. Like it's always good to like remind yourself of God's promises and to actually like believe in it when you're saying it, because like that's very powerful. And like sometimes like when you do say it, like you'll be like, yes, like I can do anything. And then another thing that I do, probably especially like considering the future, is to do good in school. Yes, because like as I said earlier, like I didn't really know what I wanted to be growing up. Oh wait, like I wanted to be a lot of things, but now that I'm in college, like I still don't know where exactly I want to like go forward into. So recently, a lot of my classes have been somehow miraculously aligned to my dreams. So I've been really focusing on those classes because I really want to learn and I really want to see where I excel in, so that eventually like in the future I know what to do and I know where I'm good at. So, yeah. How about you?
Okay, so just to add, first, Sabrina basically said the major things, which is to pray, to be filled with God's word, so that when you hit those low moments or those unknown moments, they just come out. But a few additional, I guess, is like aside from spending time with God, who knows our future and who is in control, as what she mentioned earlier. I talk to my parents a lot, especially my mom. Like recently, we've been actually like our whole family in the dining table. We would talk about future plans and everything, and sometimes it's funny because of how near but how far it seems. Like we are getting older and
Yeah.
it is near, but then you don't feel like you're getting there or something. It's nearer to that future than
Yeah.
so,
But we are.
yeah. And another thing I guess is to just show up every day. Like that's one of the things God has let me walk into this year. Like I feel so free knowing that I don't have to rush myself or like do certain things at certain times. Like I just have to show up every day, do what I can, and trust that God will do the rest. Like do my part and let Him do the rest. And for me personally, I like reading and writing. I write I write letters to myself in a way that I can like see how far I've come. Because it kind of helps me like, to see like what has happened and how I've grown, and there's gonna be so much more. Or like there's hope that there's gonna be more growth in the future. So stay safe, keep praying, and God bless. Bye.
Bye.